Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival.
Some would say it's Nintendo's most blatant money grab.
I refuse to support this title.
I did warn him though that the reviews on this game are bad.
I almost fell asleep while playing Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival.
I hope you like this board, by the way, because it's the only one in the entire game.
Guys, it's okay. We only have 20 more turns.
But is the game itself any good? Basically, public consensus says that it sucks.
Amiibo Festival killed my family.
Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival is one of, if not the worst party game of all time. Perhaps even one of the worst Nintendo games of all time, beating out such horrid games like Curb Stomp 6-4 and Lug. Now, if you've ever seen somebody review this game, you've probably heard almost nothing but bad things. In my research, the best defense for this game is, it's not that bad. But if that's really the highest praise out there, I'm starting to think it is that bad. I also found 2 separate videos of people destroying their copy of the game, so take that for what you will. Anyway, I am one of the few people who genuinely loves this game. Here's why. To be clear, I don't think this is a good game. I just love it and would kill you to protect it, if that makes any sense. Amiibo Festival is so bad, it's impressive. You know when a movie is so bad it becomes good, like Sharknado or Spy Kids? Well, that's where I am with this game. It lacks any kind of variety or strategy. I'm surprised this game ever got made. And I think that's what not only draws me to the game, but also draws in my depression. Okay, all jokes aside, I am genuinely truly fascinated with this game. It really feels like they went out of their way to make such an unredeemable, unfun experience. And it just so happens that I am apparently so goddamn mentally ill to the point where I had a burning desire to master this game, if that's even possible. I want to completely learn the ins and outs of it to see if under this complete failure of a game secretly lies a misunderstood gem. And if it turns out to be dog shit like I kind of think it will, I still think it's really funny to become a master of a game that nobody will ever want to play with me. Basically, I'm dating that unredeemable bad boy on the block because I think I can fix him. So what I did was I gathered my 2 roommates together so we could play Amiibo Festival over and over and over until I have a complete sense of mastery over the entire game. Or until I kill myself. This is the story of my year-long journey to master the worst party game of all time. Amiibo Festival. Now, Amiibo Festival is obviously a spin-off of Animal Crossing. If you don't like Animal Crossing, then how dare you? You have just hurt Punchy's feelings. You see this gorilla in a party hat? Congratulations. He hates you now. But also, don't worry because this game is completely disconnected from the rest of the franchise. All you need to know is Animal Crossing is the type of game you play to relax, relieve stress, have a good time. And Amiibo Festival makes you want to kill your best friend. There should be 4 of us. From the very first announcement of Amiibo Festival, fans were skeptical at best and furious at worst. My boy Zach's live reaction sums up the fans' general reaction the best.
Oh my gosh! It's Animal Crossing! Oh! Wait, what is this? Is this... what? Please don't be a Mario Party spinoff. I swear. Nintendo, you just messed up. Whoops.
So yeah, fans wanted a new mainline Animal Crossing game, but got whatever this was. Just imagine thinking that you're about to eat a nice, juicy steak, but instead you get served a plate of grass. Yeah, I guess you can eat this. Yeah, I guess you can play this. And upon launch, things were not any better. The best way to describe this game is imagine Mario Party minus the fun. Remove the minigames from the party mode, make it nothing but moving spaces, but do include a separate minigame mode to add insult to injury. Amiibo Festival wants to show you what it could have been. Remove every single fun and creative board from Mario Party and replace it with just one generic board unique to your specific Wii U that you can only slightly upgrade. Yes, you heard me right. There are multiple boards in this game, but you only get one board per Wii U console. Say goodbye to any replayability right there. Unless you're willing to delete your save to spice things up like some fans have. Now throw away any gaming skills you have out the window because the luck dependency with this game is cranked all the way up to a 99%. Also, instead of using a normal controller, no, not you. Also, instead of using a normal controller to play it like a normal freaking game, you get to pass around this giant ass controller and use Amiibo to roll your dice. It's okay, I'm upset too. Just breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out.
All I eat is grass now.
Now, if I had to guess, I think this game is designed to be as reminiscent of the mainline Animal Crossing series as much as possible. In every mainline Animal Crossing game, you get one map per console, so I guess they had thought that would be a fun trend to continue. People love Animal Crossing for the cute dialogue with villagers, so I guess they decided to fill each turn with cutesy cutscenes that you will stop reading after 2 games at most. People love customizing their towns and homes in games, so they added a function that lets you visually customize your board but adds 0 new game mechanics, aside from some branching paths that on my map are so goddamn boring. My hypothesis is they did not trust themselves to gain any kind of audience outside of the core Animal Crossing fandom, so they wanted to double down and do what works in the mainline series. Oh, the series has no stakes, let's just make this a hyper casual party game, people will love that. But all of that leaves us with 4 minutes of Katrina doing whatever the hell this is. It's awful. You cannot skip this, and you can also not increase the NPC's dialogue speed, nor can you skip NPC turns. I swear they designed this game to make you want to share these cute interactions online to create a sense of FOMO for everyone else who is not currently looking at cute animals, as opposed to making, you know, a good game. I'd argue that's also the case for the series' latest released New Horizons, but that's a whole different rant for a whole nother video.
I feel like what they were going for with the Amiibo figures is kind of the same thing they were going for with the original Animal Crossing on GameCube, where you would take your memory card, go over to a friend's house and plug it into their GameCube, and then you could visit each other's towns. Same idea with this, where like you're bringing your Amiibo over to your friend's house to play on a whole different Wii U with a different board, and you get to bring your experience and your outfits with you.
And it's really cool and really unique because all the maps are like really, really different.
I was like, no.
So some people might be thinking, oh, it's just a virtual board game, what do you expect? Well, first of all, I have this many hours in the game but have not unlocked all the costumes for even a single character, and look how many characters there are. Why do they design the game like this if they don't expect people to play it a ton? Oh wait, maybe they just wanted money. I am sorry for financially supporting Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival as much as I have. It is a severe and continuous lapse of judgment on my part. Also, the villager doesn't count for some reason. But more importantly, the thing is, Amiibo Festival has all of the complexity of a board game like Trouble, but Trouble can be bought for $10. Meanwhile, Amiibo Festival was a $60 game that plays on a $300 console that requires 4 Amiibo and 8 Amiibo cards to get the full experience. And with Trouble, all you need is Trouble. I think you can see why people were mad now. Now, don't get me wrong. We are big Trouble fans in this household. We take it very, very seriously. Now, Amiibo Festival, not so much. I had to convince my roommates to play this game with me, not just 1 time, not just 2 times, but as many times as it would take for me to become an Amiibo Festival god. As you can imagine, that was a very difficult task. Have I mentioned this game is bad yet? We felt the need to create some outside incentives to continue playing. This is a sexy golden Anka trophy that we 3D printed and painted gold. This prize goes to whoever has the most wins, or whoever's loneliest that night. It's usually me. This is a 3D printed Roman Tom Nook trophy painted silver. Obviously this goes to whoever has the second most amount of wins. This is a broken piece of glass. It goes to whoever's in last place. These trophies genuinely made the boys want to play game after game after game. They're simple creatures that I will crush one day. So we played this game on and off over the course of an entire year. Yes, a year. This was done to, of course, space out the trauma.
Every game of Amiibo Festival starts the exact same way. At first, we're all chanting like, Amiibo Festival, yeah! And then week 1, we're hyped. We're putting all our bells into the turnip market. Week 2, Anthony's on his phone. Calvin and I are talking about literally anything else. Week 3, we're just done. Like, no one's paying attention. We're making fun of whoever is on the screen at that moment. Like, any little thing that annoys us, we're just shitting on it. And then by week 4, we're just studying the stock market. We're just praying this game ends soon, because this is the only week that matters.
So we played 10 games of Amiibo Festival together as an household, which literally might be more than any other trio in the entire world. I'm not joking. This game did not sell well and does not have a ton of replay value. The fact that we've even dug this deep to begin with is kind of insane. I've also played a few rounds by myself, and at this point I swear there is no way I am not in the top 10 players of Amiibo Festival of all time. And I still don't have the hula skirt skin. Wow. So to explain the mechanics real quick, there are good spaces you want to land on and bad spaces you don't want to land on. The main sense of agency you have is which direction you choose to go. Sometimes you get cards so you can choose your role, in other small events throw in a random chance factor. Like when Phineas shows up, someone will get rewarded for simply existing. Sorry to interrupt my own video, but I just read the manual for this game, and I found out I described the game the exact same way the developers described the game in the manual. So you see, how to play. You know, roll the dice, land on good spaces, land on bad spaces. It mentions, you know, the player's info, mentions the stamp pad. Stamps are kind of important, assuming it's a close game. It's usually not, which is why I didn't really talk about it. But, you know, and then it kind of explains the cards, and then tells you how to roll the dice. Then tells you to choose your direction, and then it tells you the results of the game. Is that not what I said, or is that what I said?
That's what you said.
There are 2 entire mechanics that are constantly in play that give you at least a sense of agency. The first one is all of the amiibo cards. You can use them any turn to give yourself a higher chance of rolling a specific number on a die. I played a game by myself and used these amiibo cards every single time. And as you can tell, there are more fails than works, but it's almost 50-50. So you'd think they're worth using at least 50% of the time, right? Well, let's talk about that. So this bootleg lucky card gives you a higher chance of rolling a 1. It goes from a 1 in 6 chance to a 2 in 6 chance, or a 1/3 chance for those math nerds out there. And as you can see, 2 sides of the dice get replaced. One side that gets replaced is obviously the number 1, but the other side that gets covered up is completely random. In this example, we lost any chances of rolling a 5, but gave us an extra chance to roll a 1. And there are plenty of situations where you might want to roll a 1 or a 5. So logically, you'd want to use a 1 card to boost your chances of rolling at least one of them. But in doing so, you're also giving yourself a 1 in 5 chance of losing one of the numbers you want, making the amiibo card pointless. If you want to land on a 1 or a 5 and the dice covers a 5, your odds of getting what you want are the same whether you use the card or not. However, if that 1 in 5 chance works out for you and the card covers a number you don't want, you now have a 50% chance to roll the number that you want. If you don't care about the other numbers and just want the 1, then yes, it's never a bad idea to use the amiibo card. This may seem like a minor detail to linger on, but in a game with so little agency and so little mechanics in general, this is kind of an important detail. The manual mentions nothing of how these dice work. All it says is the characters roll the dice for you, and I guess they're not lying, but why not add an extra sentence that actually describes what the dice do? But why can't they at least fully explain to you one of the few mechanics in the game? Like, these are cards that I paid real money for. The very least you can do is tell me what the fuck they do in the game. I wish I was done talking about these amiibo cards, but I'm not. When trying to win the game, I min-max these bitches at every possible opportunity. Even after all that's said and done, I use these almost every turn to increase my odds of landing where I want. Now, Kyle over here, he uses these cards sometimes, and Anthony rarely ever uses them, and would you look at that, all the scores are tied up. So the main reason for these 3 different strategies are based on how much we care. In my mind, there's no reason not to go for the optimal number every single turn, and no one has ever disagreed with me. They just don't care because this game is shit and the scores are tied anyway.
It don't matter. None of this matters.
Now let me introduce you to the stock market, aka the only reason this game is worth playing. So in this game, every round equals 1 day, and each game lasts for a month. Every Sunday, Joan comes to town to sell everyone turnips. Turnips work similarly to the normal Animal Crossing games. They act as currency in a stock market that changes every single day. The goal is to buy low and sell high. But of course, whether the stock market is up, down, fluctuating, crashing, or completely closed is 100% RNG. Each space has a turnip price, and it's up to you when to sell. You need to take the stock market seriously, because if you don't, somebody else will, and win by a landslide. No, seriously, every single game boils down to who played the stock market the best, and it's never close. Okay, so I'm in first place. I have 122,000 bells. I'm gonna go all in on the stock market. So over 1,000 turnips for all my bells. Yo, as Pee-wee says, this is the last day.
What the fuck? The stock market is closed? What?
Get fucked, I guess. I don't know.
The stock market adds the perfect amount of spice and can be really fun. So it really sucks when it's just steady for the entire month. So the prices never fluctuate, leading to zero chances of any risk and reward. You can only play it safe because that's the only thing the game will let you do. And that results into just the most boring, uneventful game ever. Have I mentioned yet that these games can be over an hour long? After these 10 group games and my solo games, my research shows that it is statistically inconsequential which strategy you go for. The nail in the coffin for this was when our friend Neil came over. We played 2 games with him and he won both of them without knowing what he was doing. Look at his smug face. I fucking hate it. He went up against 3 people who have played 8 mind-numbing games of Amiibo Festival and then just kinda won. Twice. How did he do it? Oh man, it was all luck. After all of my findings, I do not think you can master Amiibo Festival. And it really pains me to say this because I've either been playing this game or thinking about this game for a goddamn year now. The more I learn about the game, the more I play the game, the more I realize there's just no sense of agency, just anywhere to be found. I'm out here struggling to get 3rd place against bots sometimes. This year-long research of Amiibo Festival amounted to nothing. Not even a fun time. Fun fact, there's also insta-win and insta-lose spaces. I didn't manage to record either of these happenings because they're so goddamn rare, but there's a space that you can land on where you instantly win the game. It's called the money tree. It's hard to find footage for because when you look it up, all you really find is money tree information from the actual Animal Crossing games. But essentially, you land on it and you get 100,000 bells and you win because that's just a lot of money. It's just GG. And on the contrary, sometimes Joan looks like she's about to kill herself and she walks on stage. And she's like, I can't do this anymore. And if you land on her space, there's a chance you will lose all of your turnips. So if you properly invested in the stock market, meaning if you spent all of your bells in the stock market, then you just lose all of your money, you lose all of your turnips, and you have no chance to win the game. It's an insta-lose space. It's awesome. So the ideal strategy for Amiibo Festival is turning off the Wii U. This game is unmasterable, inconsistent, and boring. No wonder I found 2 videos of people destroying their copy of the game. But regardless of all of that, me and the roomies got together for one last round to see who could come out victorious. Join the Patreon to see who ended up with a golden Anka trophy and the piece of glass.